Hey, just a winter day. Just a couple things. Mel's making it, but with relationships, Mel sucks. Just putting it out there. So I'm just wondering um, if anyone's been in this situation. And you can tell me, you can comment if you'd like, or just to yourself be like, yeah, well, this is clearly one of the most messed up situations I've been in. I've been in a few, but this is pretty bad. So I'm seeing this guy for 3.5 years. The first, I want to say 8 or 9 months, he said we were not in a relationship, we're not together. And he wanted all kinds of wifey things, though. He wanted me to hang out with him and his kid all weekend. He wanted me to watch his kid while he worked out, while he cleaned his apartment. I played like Uno cards with his kid, like all kinds of little wifey things. But yet we weren't an item. We weren't a couple. He refused to say that. But of course, getting benefits, And then at some point, when I went to my class reunion, I introduced him as my friend. I took him and he said, "What do you mean your friend, your boyfriend?" That's how, 8 months after I started seeing him, that we became a couple. And then that was almost 2 years ago. Well, December of this past year, he proposed to me. 2 days before Christmas, really cool, totally a surprise. I kind of was giving up on him, so it was great timing. So he proposes to me. I said yes. My cousins were calling me, asking me, did we set a date? But what happened was, on Christmas Eve, he and I were supposed to spend it together. It's our first, what do I want to say, holiday, like together as, an engaged couple. So what happened was, he calls me and it's been always some type of cryptic or talking in circles type of situations because he doesn't want to tell me. So he is still married. Just to give you a background, he is married. He did step out at least 10 years in the marriage to make another child with another woman. So that pretty much, I want to say, tainted their marriage. Shortly thereafter, he moved out, I think, to be with the other woman that had the child. Had another girlfriend before me for 4 years, till she passed away. But regardless, so he's still married through all this. And there were many other people in that time. But he said his son was going to a party and wanted him to go. It's Christmas Eve, so, we're in the United States of America, so chances are, if you're going to a party on Christmas Eve, it's holiday and family related. No? So I asked him who it was, and he said his brother-in-law's sister. He said the name like Jim's sister. So then I said, "You mean Jessica's sister also, his wife?" It's his sister-in-law. It's his in-laws. So, yeah, he was going there, but reassured me. Again, this is Christmas Eve. I'm home doing a dinner. And he said, "Oh, don't worry. I'm going to call you. I'm going to talk to you." So I called him when he arrived, and he acted funny. He was rushing me. I could only half see the screen. I called him, on a video app, and he rushed me off. After that, I called him on regular phone. I called him, it was about 6 o'clock. I called him from 6 to 11:30. He wouldn't answer any call. Approximately 11:45, he calls me to say, "Don't worry, I'm home," to show me he's back at his apartment. But the whole time, he could not answer the phone. Why? And then he says, "Oh, my son needed to talk to me." okay, his son is like 16. He couldn't explain that I'm the fiance. And then I said, did anybody ask about me? I wasn't invited, of course, but did anyone ask about me? No, they didn't. He didn't ask or mention that we got engaged either, I can imagine. But anyway, fast forward, I hung up on him because I was really upset. And I look on social media profile, he's putting his son, his other son, and another child in the family, we'll say. So I said to him, wow, even the baby mom, the one that he had the love child with, even she went? He said, oh, she already knew where it was. So she was allowed to drop the child off. She might have stayed. I don't know. He never answered the phone. So I'm going to present this question to you. Pause, think about it, or just knee-jerk reaction. Tell me, was it right for him to not answer a call, being that I was his fiance of just 2 days? And you're asking me to marry you and build a life, and then you regress to your former family situation without any regard at all to what I'm doing, being that it's Christmas, I'm sitting alone. Like, did you really think you're still going to have a fiance? So that pretty much tainted it for us. So, but after that, I did see him on New Year's Eve. He wanted to come over. Basically, he wanted a pair of sneakers that I had gotten him. So he came over, brought me, my gifts, and then said all he was going to do was come over, wanted to take pictures for New Year's Eve. And we did. And I actually was just coming out of COVID quarantine also. So that's all he said, didn't invite me. And then he left. While he was here, he was wearing a mask. But anyway, so my friend asked me, female, after he left, did I want to go to the bar and have a drink? And I said, well, maybe one drink. So she took me to the bar. And, of course, he raged out. He said he invited me out, which he didn't invite me out. He didn't say anything. He was a nervous Nelly. He just wanted to get his gifts and go home. So, but I did answer his calls at the bar. Every call, trying to do videos, he's calling. I went with my son, who's an adult. Went with her, sat there probably a good 2-3 hours, and I was home by like 11:45. I called him to see if he wanted to get together. He did not. He said I ruined the tradition. But clearly, he ruined it before I did, because we couldn't even start a tradition because he messed up Christmas Eve. So basically, it's payback. But I still was willing to kind of deal with him. After that, he keeps throwing it in my face that, I ruined New Year's Eve. But we had no plans. We only have plans if I have money and I make the plans. Even if he has money, he doesn't want to pay. So fast forward to, I want to say, a couple of days ago. He was going to, at my prompting, go to see the divorce attorney. So he was due to go yesterday, which was a federal holiday. I actually, on Friday, said, oh, I'll go with you. And he said, no, go to work. Don't miss time from work. And then I told him, it's a federal holiday. I don't have to work. He was acting very shady. And I said, okay, maybe is the wife going with him to kind of sort of like control situations? I don't know, because this is like a resounding type of thing. She kind of controls him. She controls the money. So he said, no, he's going by himself. It's something he has to do alone. Well, I took it as, wow, he just doesn't want me to be a part of it, even though I gave him the information, the number. And it's really necessary, a prerequisite before you plan any wedding, engagement party, which he kept asking me, when am I planning the party? It would be nice that, the ink on his divorce was dry. It'd be nice that he filed for divorce. It would be appropriate. So lo and behold, called him yesterday and he was up, but he did not go to the appointment. So I told him, listen, you had the appointment. You didn't do it for whatever reason. You didn't want me to go with you, or you didn't want to do it. So he doesn't want to move forward. So basically I told him, we're done. I'm deading him. There's no use in, continuing this. So then he tells me he's got an appointment for, you know, another day 5 weeks from now. And again, I don't want to deal with that. I've been dealing with this on and off. For whatever reason, despite the love child, despite the numerous other relationships, he doesn't divorce this woman, or she doesn't divorce him. What woman would deal with that humiliation? No, they're not religious. They had a quickie marriage in a city hall, not religious, not fundamentalist, not Catholic, like nothing in a church. Like they're not going to be barred if they have this divorce. Neither of them was married in a Catholic church. He's not even Catholic. He's not fully confirmed. But regardless, they both stay. So I'm leaving. I'm not doing it anymore. I'm done with the flip-flopping. Not to mention the love child's mother. She's worse than the wife. She is the spawn of hell. She's had 8 kids. Their kid is number 8. She's had, 8 kids. Their kid is number 8. She had 7 other kids. Basically a system person, getting tens of thousands in tax returns, and government benefits. Hey, if that helps, I guess that's good, but I think it's irresponsible. In this day and age, who the hell's having 8 kids? Again, unless you're a Mormon or you're pretty, fundamentalist, you really believe in life, but she's not that either. Anyway, but what can I say? I don't want to be a part of it anymore. The woman comes to his house. Not to mention, I believe he went with that woman. She was there. The baby moms goes and hangs out with the wife. Although that's the reason the marriage is not in existence the way it should be. They are estranged. They don't live together because of this woman. But yet the wife even invited her to Christmas. He didn't say anything to ask or advocate for me. I was kept in the dark. To this day, I haven't seen any pictures other than the one he posted with him and 3 children, 2 his and 1 somebody else in the family that was there that day. No pictures of anyone else. He didn't hold the phone up and show me who was there. He wouldn't answer. So I'm deading this guy. I'm deading the fake proposal of 48 hours. And I'm just deading the fake man that is clearly a boy that doesn't know how to make a decision. He strings all these women along. I think the other woman gives him money. Besides the wife. The wife controls his money. And the baby moms he borrows money from. So, and Mel was very generous also with my money, and don't even have a reason to be. But Mel's stupid, and Mel's not going to do that anymore. So I feel like the guy is a hustler. All he cares about is just getting attention, getting gifts. I'm sure he wanted his gifts. That's why he went there. But he has no regard for anyone else's feelings. How do you propose to someone and then ditch her? Within 2 days. So horrible. And then not give me any information. Nothing has changed. It literally is the same thing from the moment I walked into his apartment. The women control the visits. He has no visit schedule. I asked him to go to court. Why don't you get visits? One time I went there, and I was always there on the weekends. But the little boy started saying, Mel's here. He liked Mel. Like I said, I played Uno. I played hide and seek. I was hands-on with this little boy. Used to like me. Mel's here. So one time I slept on the futon, and the kid got up to go to the bathroom, calls his mother, and said, she's here. At that point, the mother flew into a rage, cursed and swore at my then beau, and said, why the F is I here? Again, the kid was about 6. They had been done maybe, 5 years. It didn't last too long because his last relationship was about 4 years before me. He was with someone. So a lot of overlap, a lot of, I think, one ends or almost ends and he's on to the next. But regardless, she then filed CPS papers on me that I was, abusing her child. So when they did come, and speak to me. They asked me what I was doing. I said sleeping on a futon. They said, did I have clothes on? I said yes. Was I engaging in physical sexual contact? I said no. It was totally G rating. He, in fact, was sleeping in the bed with the kid. I guess she sleeps in the bed with the kid too at, their apartment. But he was sleeping in the bed with the kid out of respect. I'm not sleeping in bed with another person's child. I didn't even want to come over there. It was like 10 o'clock. I just went over. I had been out and, he asked me to come over. Slept on the futon, fully clothed. Kid gets up to go to the bathroom, calls his mother. She calls CPS. And unfortunately, that put me as a subject of a report when I did nothing that was nice to this kid. So the kid, just stirred it up, did what the mother wanted, but there was no allegations of abuse. I hadn't touched the kid. I didn't hit the kid, never said a cruel word. I just liked the kid and she couldn't handle it. So long story short, and I do know it was her because when someone makes a case, it is anonymous. But if it was against her child and I was the only one that was there and she's the only one that knew and he clearly didn't make the case, who else would it have been? And she made allegations about dad's girlfriend. Who else would have done that? So anyway, but I got to see, after I requested the report about her life, because they're interviewing her as well. Whoever makes the report, they're going to go back and interview you. So you dummy. I saw her kid that's in a detention center. She didn't bring proper clothes. She stirs him up on the phone. This is the child number 7, we'll call him. The one she had before, the love child that she had with my boyfriend at the time. So it's interesting. But anyway, these women have done everything to sabotage us. I think they did see that we got engaged on social media. I posted, and he did say, why would I post it? Don't post it. But it was up on social. I feel like they wanted to sabotage. They did. Great job of doing that because he is quite weak. So therefore, he did, in fact, go along with it, had no respect for me or even thought like, wow, Mel might feel alone on Christmas Eve, but yet she's engaged. How humiliating. But anyway, I'm used to it. Unfortunately, I rolled with it and payback was New Year's Eve. But other than that, here's the big payback. I'm not dealing with it again. It literally is going to be 2 months since he proposed. Still not closer to any divorce. Still doesn't go to get visits. The children stay, and visit with him when it's only him. I'm never invited over. I don't get to interact. I'm not invited to the kids' parties. So what woman wants to deal with this? If you want to deal with this and you think I should, let me know. But I've been more than fair. Like I said, she did jeopardize my job because I actually was working for the Child Protective Services. So it shed some doubt on me whether I was eligible, because if you get in this registry, you really can't work for them. It's like anything else. If you have a record, they don't want you in a law enforcement agency. So luckily, everything was unfounded, but she proceeded to call 2 more times with other bogus things on my child who was like 16, 17. But again, when they visited my son who's older, he said, are you crazy? I don't know what you're talking about. It was just ironic, but she kept making allegations. Oh, he threatened her child with a gun. Anything to get him to stay away from me. This is how desperate this woman is. But she does meet guys in jail. I think last I knew that was her dating pattern, or releasees, something like that. They get out and they probably use her for the ride home and then ditch her. And then she's on to more jailbirds. But anyway, long story short, she can have this man back. Well, he is still married, but it's enough. It's been enough. So my engagement's off. Everything is off. I don't even want to talk to him. He is such a horrible person. Not even a friend. Who does things like that to someone? You just play with their heart. And, engagement's a big thing. When you tell people you're engaged, family was congratulating me, wondering when there's going to be a wedding, wondering if there's going to be a date. And I have to explain to them, no sooner did we get engaged that we're on the rocks. So Everyone have a good night. It's never easy. I mean, I consider myself a reasonable person. And I'm saying, what would a reasonable person have done? A reasonable person would have never spoken to him again after the engagement. I'm a little more than like reasonable, bordering on stupid, because I'm kind, I want to say. Reasonably, I should have deaded him, but I didn't. Gave him more chances, and it's the same thing over and over again. And in fact, the baby moms was at his house yesterday, dropped the kid. I wasn't there. No wonder he couldn't go get the divorce. So things are set in motion to sabotage us. He's allowing it. So guess what? I think I'll sabotage us and say we're done, and we are done. So if you have any crazy situations you want to share, go ahead, put it in the comments. Have me share your page. I wouldn't mind. Other than that, I'm done. I just have to be done. This is so humiliating, but I'm telling you. And just wanted you to know, this is the kind of stuff that I deal with. And I'm 51. No one wants to deal with this. And, you know, he's 45, going on like 5. So I'm going to say goodbye. It's 2024. It's going to be a good year. It's still young in the year. I'm going to be 52 in just under a week. So I'm looking forward to that, and just done with the 48-hour engagements. That's all I can say. And I hope no one finds himself in all this between the ex-wife, baby mama drama, and men that are just emotionally not ready for any type of commitments or ready to say goodbye and move on. They just continue to weave a web of women, wounded women, I'd have to say, because both of them were single parents, both unmarried until the first one, well, he married her for their son, but he was like 5 years older than her son at the time. He was 23. Her son was 18. Pretty funny. And, you know, she was probably 37 years old. So she had a good like 14 or 15 years on him. So it's just like a mother figure. That's what I'm thinking. Totally like Oedipus. Might be a connection right there. Mother and son type of thing. I'm not sure. I mean, he lost his mom, so she filled in. She provided for him. And he did her dirty too, you know, and the baby moms lived around the corner, which is so funny. It's sad, but it's ironic that he's in a place living for free and then he's screwing around. But they're all one big happy family, and I just have to count myself out. They don't want me. I didn't break up the marriage. I didn't rage out when the woman tried to make me lose my job from CPS. I've been nice, and I got screwed over. So not anymore. I'm cutting my losses, and I'm leaving, and I'm still happy enough to say I did try on this path of love. I've tried many times, but I did try this recently. Been working on it for 4 years. Right before that, maybe 6-7 months, I literally was breaking up from someone else I had been in a relationship for 4 years. So these long-term situations are killing me, because you stay around for all this time, and in the end, what do you have? The same as what you started with. Absolutely nothing. Maybe less than nothing, because your like trust is gone. You're feeling a little low, like kind of on the rejected side. Like, what did I do wrong? Why am I not good enough? Why can't you get a divorce from someone you've already cheated on? You say it wasn't like that. You didn't have love for her like that. You know, basically he was using her. That's what it was. He doesn't want to say that, but you know, but yet he stays. So, oh well. It was a nice try, but I mean, why would you propose? Just don't waste the energy. So, all right, everyone, have a good one. And in this month of lovers, I guess it is better to have loved and lost than never to have loved at all. If you agree, let me know. But at this point, I am going to take this loss. I'm going to take this loss with a grateful heart because he is a train wreck. So are the other two women for riding on that crazy train as long as they have. Goodbye.